Alright guys, James at RampantLionReviews again for you today. For this one, we are going to do another out and about video, and I think this one is going to be a bit of a two-parter. So at the moment I am in Falokra, in the kind of northern part of Espoo, to the west of Helsinki, and we are at Salama Brewing Company, who are a Finnish brewery that have featured on the channel a good few times. But these guys are known for their sours, their New England IPAs, and for doing some very kind of big beast beers as well. So yeah, we're going to go in, have a little look at the brewery, and then later on in the video we'll go to the tap room in Helsinki itself. So yeah, this is a little bit different compared to some of the other out and about videos that we've done in the past, but I hope that you guys enjoy it nonetheless. Catch you guys in a second. Let's get started. Alright guys, so yeah, this is actually quite a nice little facility. So it doesn't actually have taps, but you can buy the cans and sit out in the terrace here. But yeah, like I said, we're in Falokra, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and the brewery opened in 2019. They released their first beers in March of 2019. You can see Riku, Mika and my dad just chilling there. But yeah, when you come in, Johanna will be here to help you. But yeah, you've got the nice fridges and things. And yeah, Christian is walking around doing stuff in the brewery. But yeah, the brewery itself has 130,000 litres capacity per year. They've got some beers in the sour barrels here, and Christian was telling me that this is the big thing for them at the moment, is just having space. So you can see there's pretty much barrels in every corner. This is Christian. So yeah, they've got barrels in every corner that they can fit. So these are all sour beer barrels. Here you can see the canning line, and if you come up and over here, the cool room is here, so all the hazy stuff is there. These are their bourbon barrels, so this is where all the dark stuff is getting aged. And yeah, they've got a few 2,000 litre tanks, 3 of these, and 8 or 9 1,000 litres just behind. This is their centrifuge. Apparently they were the first craft brewery in Finland to have a centrifuge. So yeah, it's kind of cool actually. It's quite nice to come and just see like a kind of small craft brewery like this doing their thing. But there you can see there is the cooking station. It's nice, and you can see the tanks. Johanna's working hard restocking the fridge, and yeah, we'll go up here and have a little look over the brewery. Christian was very nice and said I could walk around and things and just do this. So yeah, keeping their malt up here. There's the mill, of course. I guess this is maybe where they do the wax tops and things. But yeah, we'll have a little look just over here. So here you can see oh, that bit of wood was loose. You can see, here's a little view of the brewery, and there you can see the Salama lightning cloud. So yeah, and you can see they've got a flamingo as well, which is pretty nice. So yeah, that's a little walk around of the brewery here at Salama Brewing. Alright guys, well, time for the first of our 2 tastings that we're going to do here at Salama Brewing Company, Salama Panimo, here in Espoo. So yeah, the first beer we're going for is kind of what we typically do in these videos. This one is a Pilsner, coming in at 5% ABV. It's the Spalter Ella Barbara. So yeah, Riku, you looked up the Spalter and Ella hops, didn't you?
Yeah, the Spalter is a German hop, and Ella is from Australia.
And from memory, I think Ella's quite sort of, you know, a little bit of kind of mango-y, passion fruity sort of thing. Spalter, I think I've had a few times without really realising what it was actually. But again, with this one, with the can, you've got some really, really nice artwork on this, and there you can see the distinctive Salama lightning cloud label, of course. As we said earlier, Salama is Finnish for lightning. So yeah, 5%er. Let's crack this open. We're going to split this between 3. My dad's chilling behind the camera and looking a bit thirsty as well. So I'll do this just now. Yeah, use this one for the port. So you can see this one Looks very, very nice. Lovely kind of pale golden straw colour, which you would expect from a Pilsner. A little bit hazy. Yeah. 1 or 2 big bubbles. And then you can see, I think we've poured about a third of the can or so. You can see a nice kind of quarter to a 1/3 finger of a frothy, I would say, perfect white head. And you can see you've got the big iron fist from Salama on the glass there as well. So, yeah. Nice. Riku's glass is a bit different. Riku has has this one. So yeah, a couple of different Teku glasses actually. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, let's do it that way. Figure it out. This is the thing with cans, always dividing them up. So yeah, we've done the appearance. Want to have a look at the nose?
Yep.
It's kind of what you'd expect, really, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, quite big and quite floral.
Some grassy notes.
Oh yeah, for sure. So this one, yeah, the green component really jumps out of this one, I think. The malty backbone, I would say, yeah, a little bit of bread crust. White bread, of course, but it's actually, I find the malt really quite dry and crisp in this one compared to the other Pilsners that we've had yesterday. Yeah, so for me, this one, the malty base, you can really get that dry Pilsnery sort of thing out of it. You get the nice kind of McVitie's digested biscuit. Yeah, it goes together really nicely, actually, doesn't it? Anything else about the malt base?
No, that's about it.
No.
Light and grassy and some white bread also.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. I would say green component. There's a wee bit of earthiness in there. You're going to get that from the Spalter, probably from the German noble hop. There is a wee bit of kind of florally dankness as well. Then you've got that kind of zesty thing from the grassy side of the beer too. What do you reckon, fruity wise?
Some like a maybe zesty citrus qualities and not much else actually. Orangey, grapefruity. Probably from the Australian hops.
Yeah, I think it's quite. Yeah, there is a wee bit of that kind of passion fruity, grapefruity sort of thing. I get a wee tiny little bit of like, that sultana peary thing. So that's probably from the Spalter. And there's a bit of orange in there too. Yeah. All right. Anything else to add about the aroma?
No, it's timing.
I think it's time to go. Yeah. So, Slange, Skull, cheers, keep us. There we go. That's nice. That's very, very nice. Yeah, I'm going to say thumbs up to Salama for this one. Yeah, it's really clean and it gives you everything you want from the Pilsner, I think, but it's just got that wee bit more of a modern hoppiness to it for sure. Yeah. What's your first thoughts on the flavour?
First of all, it's very clean, which is the most important thing with this lagers and pilsners.
Very much German rather than Czech, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that cleanliness, I'd say, is that cleanliness and crispness you get out of this really makes it German rather than Czech. The Czech ones are always a bit more creamy and smooth, if you like. Yeah, malty backbone is kind of what we were picking up in the aroma. I think that wee bit of bread crust, you get a wee bit of cracker, I think, out of it further into the aftertaste as well. Yeah, white bread for sure, and the Pilsner malt, the kind of dryness of the Pilsner malt comes out further back on like the back third of the palate, I think. What do you reckon about sweetness?
Yeah, there's some sweetness to it, but overall it's quite dry beer, but yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, I think so. There's a wee bit of biscuit in the middle of the palate, but not a lot. Do you want to leave the green component then?
Definitely quite grassy, like it should be.
Yeah, kind of grassy, quite zesty and grassy. Wee bit of floral note. I get just a wee bit of a earthy herbal thing, which I think will be Spalter. That'll be the German hop, the noble thing in this. Fruity wise, I think, a little bit kind of peary, apricot-y. You do get a wee bit of that stronger passion fruit as well. Yeah. Anything else? I think it's...
Yeah, no, not on the foodie side.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah, a little bit of a kind of apricot-y, sort of sultana-y, peary thing, a bit of passion fruit. Yeah, mouthfeel then.
Yeah, of course it's on the lighter side.
Yeah, the carbonation is quite active in that. It really is quite crisp as well. IBUs I think are sort of standard 25-ish, something like that.
25 to 30, I think.
Yeah, something there around that. Malt base, as we said, is quite smooth, quite dry, a little touch of sweetness to it, and I think the fruity side's a bit more oily, isn't it? Yeah. So I think that's everything we need to say about that. Yeah. All right. So guys, this one was the Spalter Ella Barbara dry hop pills, 5% ABV. The first of 2 cans that we're looking at here at Salama. So let's leave it at that for this one, and we have something that has a nice local name for can number 2. Catch you guys in just a second. Alright guys, so let's have a little look at these very nice beer fridges that we have here at Salama. So first off we have the Get Rich or Drunk Trying, a triple IPA, 10% ABV. Come down here, we've got a collaboration with Tuyu, which is Deadwood Lath Bununus, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, a rum barrel-aged Caribbean Imperial Stout. Then we have the Flamingo, new Espoo Pale Ale. Over here we have the Spalter Ella Barbara, a dry hopped pils. Down here the Trucks Use Low Gear, a new Espoo IPA, which I think we're going to have to try since we are in Espoo. Here we have another collaboration. This one is called This Shit Is Lit, a triple New England IPA with True Brew Brewing Company. There we are. Stick that back. We have the Neon Horror Megalomaniac, a triple Citra New England IPA. Then down here we have the Wheat Wine, which is called, I forget the name. This one is called Bourbon Barrel Aged Cloud Cuckoo. Looking forward to this. We have the Citra Galaxy hopped water. A few things aging here a little bit before they get labelled up, but this one is the mixed fermentation Brett Quake farmhouse ale, which is good. Over here they've got the Sunti dry hopped wild ale, which sounds quite interesting. Cloudberries are always interesting when you put them into sours. They have the Neon Diamond, which is a New England double IPA. Then the Zen Extra hazy double dry hop pale ale. Then the Liquid Rorschach, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, an Imperial Stout. Then they have the Electrocution double IPA, Furious Glory New England IPA, and then this one up here, the 20,000 Hertz Panzer. So a nice selection of beers here in the Salama fridge. Alright guys, a little quick look at some of the merchandise you can get here. Here you see there's the Salama fist on the t-shirt. Same, just in a few different colours, which is nice. And that's the same. So here you can see they've got a nice hoodie as well with like a dinosaur unicorn, I think it's meant to be. That's the same on these as well. And there's the dinosaur unicorn. So either you can get a t-shirt with the Salama fist or a hoodie with a dinosaur unicorn. There you are. Or you can just get some gas tanks. Alright. Alright guys, so time for tasting number 2 then, and our final one here at the brewery. So this is one that I felt we just kind of had to do because of the type of beer it was listed as. This one is called Trucks Use Low Gear. It comes in at 7% ABV, and they're describing this as a new Espoo IPA. So Galaxy and Motueka in it, southern hemisphere hops. I think it should be quite nice. So lovely artwork on this one. Once again, you can see Salama Brewing Company there. Yeah, it's good. Have you had this one before?
No.
No. This should be quite nice, but New England IPAs, it's a style that Salama are pretty well known for, and these guys for a while were one of the best, well they still are one of the best producers of this in Finland, aren't they? So yeah, let's crack this guy open and see what we get. Hope it doesn't explode. Alright, so pour wise, you can see lovely kind of hazy, yeah, sort of hazy, I would say kind of mango juice colour, this one. Kind of pale, yeah, we're just getting a little bit of a thin foamy layer. We can sugar it up a wee bit and get some head from it. But yeah, I'd say, did you say perfect white head?
Yeah,
I
I'd
think
say so.
perfect white head. For a 7%er, it's got pretty much what you would expect in terms of the level of haze. Remember, with these New England IPAs, it's the wheat content, oak content and the yeast that affect the level of haze that you get. There's no real rule about going up the alcohol scale and getting more haze. It doesn't quite work like that. But yeah, not a lot of visible carbonation, but yeah, nice kind of bright yellow colour actually. So yeah, aroma. That's really nice. Yeah. I think by New Espoo, it's just New England basically.
Yeah.
Maybe they're using some Finnish malt in it actually. Maybe that's why they've gone for New Espoo, or just a bit of play of words, I guess. But it certainly smells really nice. What do you think is your first thought?
I think it's what I expected. A lot of like citrusy aroma.
Yeah. I mean, straight away with this one, I get a lot of the lime from Motueka. Motueka from New Zealand, of course, about 8% alpha acid. Galaxy is Australian, about 14%. But you get, if you know these hops, you're on the fruity side of things. You are really getting what you expect. I think, a bit of passion fruit, a bit of pineapple as well. This one's quite on its tropical side. It's really quite bright. Yeah, so big and juicy. Yeah, for me, passion fruit, mango, pineapple, and then you get that big oily lime from Motueka. Yeah, fruity side of this is really nice. I don't think green components madly prominent in this.
No, some like slight wet grassiness maybe, but not too much.
Yeah, there's not too much in the way of like a big kind of floral character that you can sometimes get from these. It's got no dankness, of course. New England IPAs tend to be brighter in their green component rather than being big and dank like West Coasters. But yeah, the green component really does take a back seat in this. This is a very, very juicy beer rather than anything else. What do you reckon for the malty side of things?
There's definitely some like oats in them, but again the juiciness is overpowering other aromas for me.
Yeah, I mean,
Hard to pick up anything else.
I would agree there. Yeah, I think it's quite an oaty and it's more oaty and creamy. This one, you get a bit of the kind of barley malt white bread underneath. It's not too wheaty.
No.
You don't get that kind of wheaty bitiness out of it, but there will be wheat in there just thickening things out. Yeah, not sweet either, really. There's just a little bit of that, Werther's Original type thing, but it's not really madly sweet, this one. Yeah. Anything else you reckon about aroma?
No. That's about it. Let's go for it.
Let's go for it. Yeah. So, yeah, the trucks use low gear, New Espoo IPA, 7%. Keep this.
Keep this.
There you go. Oh yeah. That's really, really nice.
Yeah.
I think, first impression, the big oaty creamy thing, this for sure. A bit more wheat in it too.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. So like for me, back third of the palate, you get a wee bit more kind of wheaty bitiness out of it. You also get that barley malt, soft white bread, and then the bread crust. But yes, oat forward, I think, definitely. Yeah.
Not as sweet as I thought. From the aroma.
Yeah. The thing too is it really doesn't. This is like more. We've kind of said this a few times in some of these videos that I'm finding the Finnish IPAs are a bit like the Swedish ones were in sort of 2016, 2017. They're not so sweet. They are more you know, wheaty, bready, oaty type of thing. They're more kind of old school, if we can call that, with the New England IPAs, but it's nice. Yeah. So yeah, quite a big, smooth, creamy, oaty thing in the middle of the palate. What do you reckon with green component and fruitiness then?
Yeah, definitely some of that more to like a lime, or like even like key lime type of lime, and
yeah. Definitely. It gets quite limey in the aftertaste for sure. Yeah.
like dry grassiness also.
Yeah, I think that this is one where the fruity side of the beer really works out. Very similar, or a lot of this beer is actually very similar to the aroma. I think. So yeah, for me, I think that the Motueka takes the lead in this. But yeah, you do have a wee bit of passion fruit and a bit of mango and apricot and things from the Galaxy, and a wee bit of, I think you get a bit of juicy pineapple out of it as well. I think that the most prominent flavour, pardon me, probably from the Galaxy is the kind of pineapple, but yeah, lime, kind of an oily lime for sure, and yeah, wee tiny bit of earthiness, but yeah, green component's grass, definitely more grassy. Yeah. Anything else about the flavour?
No, that's about it. I actually really like the dryness of this.
Yeah.
I dislike like super sweet IPAs, but this is
This just has a really nice balance to it for sure. Yeah, mouthfeel wise, what do you reckon?
a tiny bit of carbonation at first, but like mellows down to like oily.
Yeah. Wee bit of crispness in the beginning.
Yeah.
Body wise, I think it's kind of a mix of creamy and oily, this one, and it's, I think, mid-bodied. It's right in the middle of the spectrum. IBUs, I think, are fairly standard. I think this is maybe about 30.
30 body, Body at max,
Yeah, because you do get a wee bit more kind of floral greenness out of it later. Malt base, as we said, is quite smooth, not really sweet. And fruity wise, it's quite wet and juicy and very slightly oily, I think. So yeah, I think that covers it. Any last thoughts?
No. Yeah, it's a really nice beer, I think.
Yeah, really, really nice. I think this is the first New England IPA I've tried from Salama.
You had to double, but double
yeah.
IPA years ago.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I'm forgetting. Yeah. What is it? It's a Goza, the winter warmer, and then a double IPA that we've had. Yeah. So yeah, forgetting some of the beers that I've had, but I think after 3,000 odd, that's allowed, as long as it's not in one night.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's everything for this. So yeah, guys, this was the Trucks Use Low Gear, our second and final tasting here at the brewery in Salama. But later, I think we will go and check out the tap room. So you'll see a second part in just a wee second. Catch you soon. So yeah, guys, just behind where we were filming, you can see they've got a load of the cans stacked up, and that's one of the big things that you'll see with Salama. They really stand out when it comes to artwork. It is pretty cool. They've got some of the labels down here, of course. These look pretty awesome. I'm just very curious as to how many of these Riku has tried. He does like a bit of Salama. Here we go. Alright guys, well, that's the end of part one of this video. So we're finished at Salama Brewing. So yeah, had a really nice hour and a bit here, trying two of the beers and having a wee look around. Christian was kind enough to show me around the brewery, and Johanna was awesome as well, so a big shout out to them. I got 2 cans and a bottle of one of the sour beers to take away, so you'll see those feature on the channel a little bit later on, but they wouldn't let me pay for them, that's the thing, so I got some free beer. So big thank you to both Johanna and Christian for their hospitality here, and do make sure you come and have a little look at the brewery, it's quite interesting. But now we are going to go on to the tap room, but that'll be a little bit later on for us. We're actually going to go and check out Olari and Fat Lizard, but yeah, we'll go and check out the tap room a little bit later on. So yeah, might be a little bit of time difference for me in real life, if you like, between now and the tap room. So catch you guys in just a second. Alright guys, well, on to the second part of our Salama Brewing video. So we are now in the centre of Helsinki, about 5-10 minutes walk away from the train station, and we're at the Salama Brewing taproom. So we'll do as we always do, we'll go in, we'll have a little look around, and we'll try a couple of the beers. So I hope you guys enjoy the second part of this one. Let's get started. Alright guys, well, we are on Erikin Katu, or Eriksgatan as it would be in Swedish, basically Erik Street if you want to put it into English, and here you can see the Salama Nation bar, so pretty cool. They've got this nice terrace. We were sitting here, but then it started to rain a little bit, so everyone went inside. But yeah, right next door to the Fazer Cafe. If you haven't tried Carl Fazer milk chocolate, I have to say it is absolutely lovely. But yeah, let's have a little look at this. We'll go in. So yeah, as you can see, it's a really nice little bar actually. So yeah, when you come in, you've got the bar right here, and you can see this. It's just really kind of modern. The guys are chilling over here. We've got the beer fridge as well. But we'll take a closer look at the tap menu in a little bit, and also the beers that are in the fridge. But yeah, let's get started. Alright guys, well, time for our first of I think probably two tastings that we're going to do here at Salama Nation Bar in Helsinki. So yeah, the beer that I've gone for this one is the Neon Diamond. It comes in at 8% ABV. It's a New England Hazy, Imperial Double, whatever you want to call it, IPA. And based on how the new Espoo one was that we had before, I think this one should be pretty nice. And of course this is a style, as I said earlier too, that Salama are well known for. So yeah, as you can see, this one has poured a lovely kind of very bright yellow sort of mango juice colour. You can see there's a good level of haze in here, which you would expect from the style. There was about a half finger of a frothy, I would have said, kind of perfect white head on this one. It looks a little bit more creamy now, and that has faded away to just be a very kind of thin foamy layer, but round the edge of the glass you can see that just sitting there. One or two big bubbles sticking toward the side of the glass, a few little ones going up toward the bottom of the head there, and it does look very, very nice. But yeah, pretty much as you would expect from a New England hazy IPA. So yeah, I don't think we need to say anything else about the appearance of this one. If I remember correctly, this one is an all Citra New England double IPA, so it should be pretty nice. And as you can hear, the music selection here is pretty good actually. We've got a little bit of Metallica going on, so quite happy with that. So yeah, let's have a wee look at the aroma of this one then and see how we go. Oh yeah, that's really, really nice. Straight away with this beer, you smell that big sort of just sweet, juicy, fruity character, and you also get the nice big kind of smooth, creamy, malty sort of thing as well. This is great. I really like this actually. So yeah, malty backbone of this one. Definitely a little bit of fresh white bread crust. You absolutely get a lot of white bread in here as well. The malt base overall is actually quite well balanced. You can definitely get some of the kind of oaty creaminess out of this one. There's a wee bit of sweetness in this, and you would expect this from a New England double because of the higher alcohol content. But of course, when it comes to when it comes to the Finnish IPAs, the New England ones, I've noticed that quite a lot of them don't really have such a big sweet component. They're not massively into their big sweet New England IPAs here, as far as I can gather. So yeah, a little bit of that butterscotchy, butter candy sort of thing going on, but the middle of the nose is really dominated by the kind of oaty, creamy side of things. Yeah, really good. But on the back of the nose, you do get a little bit of that kind of wheaty character. There's a little bit of wheaty bitiness in there. But yeah, the malty side of this beer goes together very, very nicely. Again, though, it reminds me of the likes of Narangi, Amazing Haze, these kind of 2016, 2017 Swedish New England IPAs. It's like these old school, more bready, wheaty ones rather than the big sweet ones that we get these days. On the hoppy side of things, definitely a little touch of earthiness in there. There's some nice big floral aromaticity, and you've also got a little bit of grassiness too. But again, remember, these beers rely on late addition and dry hopping rather than also having the early addition hopping. But yeah, it goes together very, very nicely in that sense. Yeah, I like this one. Yeah, good little bit of wet grassiness, a little bit of floral character, but I don't find the green component is all that pungent. On the fruity side of things, big juicy mango. Yeah, nice little bit of a limey character as well. You are getting those typical softer apricot-y and pineapple notes that you would expect from Citra. But yeah, I really like how this goes together. So let's get stuck into this one then. I think that's everything we need to say about the aroma. So yeah, this one is the Neon Diamond, an 8% New England double IPA from Salama Brewing here at their tap room in Helsinki. Slange, skål, cheers, kippis. Yeah, that's very, very nice. I'm going to say straight away, I really like how this, I do really like how this goes together. Yeah, it's a very kind of straight shooting beer that gives you, it really gives you everything you want from the style, and it's just very, very well done. You can't ask for much more than that these days. So, yeah, I like it. So, backbone, malty backbone of the beer, nice little bit of fresh white bread crust. On top of that, again, white bread. On the back third of the palate, you can feel that thicker wheatiness in there. The wheat is quite smooth, but it does offer you a little bit of bitey character on that back third of the palate. But as you move further forward, you get more of the oatiness coming out of this one. It's got a lovely big smooth, slightly creamy oaty character. In the dead centre of your palate, you do get a little bit of that kind of you do certainly get a little bit of that kind of butter candy, butterscotchy type thing out of it. So yeah, not a big sweet component, but it's definitely it definitely has a little bit of that there. On the hoppy side of things, then let's look at that. Yeah, green component in the flavour of this one is actually quite. You know, the green component actually takes a bit of a back seat to everything else, I would say. I mean, in the back corners of the palate, there's a teeny bit of earthiness, but you've got this big, nice, wet, floral character. You do get that comes out along the side of the palate, but you do get a little touch of a floral aromaticity in there. Round the front curve of the palate, it's a little bit lighter and grassy. You've got a good little bit of zestiness to that grassiness as well. But yeah, overall, the green component is really, really quite nice actually. Yeah, front third of your palate and the fruity side of things, the base of that is definitely a bit white ready and oaty for sure. Yeah. This is good. Back of that front third of your palate, a little touch of passion fruit. It's showing all the typical characteristics of Citra. As you move further forward, definitely more kind of mango-like and juicy. And as you push into the front half of the front third of your palate, you start to get that more lemony-limey kind of thing that you expect from Citra. But a very, very good New England double IPA, and it's nice to try one of these on tap as well, because obviously we tried the Pilsner and the regular New England IPA, the new Espoo IPA as it was called, on the tap, out of the can. So yeah, the keg conditioning is very good as well. Let's have a wee look at the mouthfeel then to round off. So, for me, top end to mid body, the carbonation is very smooth. It's got a lovely clean mouthfeel to it. There is a bit of creaminess in there, a wee bit of oiliness, smoothness and sweetness too, and yeah, that goes together very well. On the hoppy side of things, as I said, the IBUs in this are quite low. This feels like it might be about 20 IBU, which is a bit unusual when it's a New England double. You might expect it to be a little higher than the standard 30, maybe 40 or something, but hoppiness on this beer is kind of lower, I would say, but still there. Malt base, as we said, is quite smooth, little touch of sweetness to it, wee bit of bitiness from the wheat, and then a lovely kind of fruity, juicy character. This beer gives you everything you would want from a New England double IPA, and yeah, I think it goes together really, really well. So it's a big thumbs up from me, this one. So yeah, this is the Neon Diamond, an 8% New England Hazy Imperial Double, whatever you want to call it, IPA. Our first of probably 2 beers here at the Salama Nation. So I'll catch you guys in just a second with something else. Keep this. Okay guys, so a little look then at the tap list here at Salama. So the flamingos that have the pink on their necks, these are the Salama beers. So over on the left here they have Galaxy Bardara, which is a Pilsner. They have the Vortex Saison. Then we go on to La Quince. They have the Los Fresones Rebeldes, a lager beer. Then True Brew from Munich, Restin Goza Peach. Another one from La Quince, Onda Vital Z, double IPA. Salama, Trucks Use Low Gear New England IPA. That's one that we tried at the brewery in Cannes earlier. They've got a Track Tap Takeover on the 21st of July. Track, of course, from Manchester. The Neon Diamond, New England double IPA. That was very, very nice, I have to say. They have the one from Rothaus, the Märzen, very famous brewery, of course. An Imperial Stout from Mind Beer. And Mexican Cake one from them from Westbrook. So some quite rare American beers here as well. La Quince, Wild at Heart, double IPA. Then they have Rothaus Hefeweizen. Favourite Tunes, that's a New England IPA from True Brew as well in Munich. And then our last three, the True Brew West Coast Pale Ale, Coastline. Then they have the Nudist Sparkling Wine, and then they have the Nude Cider Long Drink as well. So quite a nice tap, a mix of their own stuff, a few things from Spain and a few American things too. So yeah, pretty cool actually. So there's your tap list here at Salama Nation. Alright guys, so little quick look at the fridge here. So yeah, some very good music going on again. We've got a bit of Metallica. So yeah, you can see Vortex number 1, their Saison. They've got some Lapola mead, a few Nude ciders, which is Finnish craft cider. Then they have these guys as well. This is a brewery from Germany. So these guys, these beers are all from True Brew Brewing from Munich. So this is a brewery I will need to check out sometime. So yeah, Short Fused New England IPA, Coastline West Coast IPA, Joyride Juicy Pale Ale, and then we're on to the Salamas themselves. So yeah, Flamingo New England IPA, or New Espoo IPA as they're calling it. Here we have the Zen Ecstasy. That's a New Espoo Pale Ale. This one, we saw this earlier. Equilibrium number 1. Then I forget the name of this one. This fridge is awkward actually to open. But there you see it, Neon Baby, Citra New Espoo Pale Ale. Then we have the Neon Horror Megalomaniac. We have the, what's this one? The 20,000 Hertz Panzer New England IPA. I was quite curious about this actually. And then yeah, we have Furious Glory New England IPA. Then we have the To You collaboration, which we saw earlier, the Rum Barrel Aged Caribbean Imperial Stout, Deadwood Laugh, Bunu Bunu Bunus, or however we say that. Then yeah, this one here, if I remember rightly, is a Brazilian. Oh no, sorry, this is Evil Twin, New York. This looks very nice. Big long name, but it's basically a double dry hopped pale ale. Then we have the Neon Diamond in Cannes, if you can see that. And yeah, we have the Get Rich or Drunk Trying, a New England triple IPA. Another one from True Brew. This one is a Session IPA, which looks good. And then down here, we have the Liquid Roastback, which I got a can of. The Cerveja, this one is from Brazil actually. Elementos, Cinco's Elementos, they do some really, really nice stouts. Another one there, the Vanilla Pancake Brunch Stout. We of course have the Cloudberry Sour, and then the BG Dark Pirate. So yeah, really interesting to see these big Brazilian stouts there. And as you can see, I've just steamed up the fridge. But yeah, some really good cans and bottles here for you to get if you come to Salama Nation Bar. Alright then guys, so our second and final tasting then here at Salama Nation Bar in Helsinki. So yeah, I thought we would try something from the more sour, funky side of Salama just to round off this. So the beer that we're going to have a look at now is called Vortex number 1. It comes in at 7% ABV, and it is a saison, a mixed fermentation saison. So this one has a bit of Brettanomyces, Brett, whatever you want to call it, a little bit of Kvike yeast in it as well, and also Hallertau Blanc and Motueka, if memory serves me correctly. So it should be quite nice, this one. But it is more, from what Riku was telling me, this one is more of a kind of funky, sort of woody type saison. So yeah, very curious to see what this is going to have in store for us. But yeah, anyway, as you can see, this beer has poured a lovely kind of bright yellow colour. The head on this one, I would say, is it had a little bit of head when we poured it, and it was a kind of ivory coloured head. It was kind of ivory creamy. That has faded away to be a nice kind of thin foamy layer now. You do have a little ring around the edge of the glass and a kind of island of a little island of bubbles in the middle of it. But yeah, in terms of what you would expect from a saison, you know, it's kind of along the right lines. You can see there's a good little bit of haze to this one, so yeah, looks pretty nice. Don't think we need to say anything else about the appearance of this beer, so let's dive in and have a little look at the aroma then. So, oh yeah, aroma wise, this is quite nice. This is a proper, yeah, funky, farmhousey type saison. This is going to be pretty good actually. I've not had a beer like this from Salama. The last sour we had was a proper kind of modern goza type thing. So yeah, this should be good. But yeah, straight away with this one, you can smell that lovely kind of smooth American oak barrel. Yeah, lovely smooth American oak barrel. Definitely a little bit of vanilla in there. You get a little bit of that kind of Werther's original butter candy, butterscotchy type thing, a little bit diacetyl, I guess we could say. Yeah, the malty kind of woody backbone on this beer is really nice, and you just get this little bit of kind of, you get a lot of white bready, kind of slightly spicy notes out of this one too, which is quite interesting. You can definitely get that big kind of yeasty character that you expect of a saison. The saison, of course, is as I say, a farmhouse ale. Other than that, I don't know if there's very much we need to say about the malty woody backbone to this beer. The hoppy side of things is quite nice. I'd be curious to know whether it's dry hopped, or how, you know, when exactly the hops were added in this beer. But yeah, on the green side of things, you certainly get a good little bit of grassiness out of it. Yeah, good little bit of grassiness to it. There's a little bit of floral character, and there's a little touch of kind of earthiness too, but I would say that's very, very smooth. When it comes to the fruity side of this beer, it really is quite kind of lemon and limey, and you would sort of expect that from these hops. Motueka, of course, is a New Zealand hop, 8% alpha acid, yeah, big oily lime usually. Hallertau Blanc is one of the new generation of German hops. If I remember rightly, I think 11 to 12% alpha acid, and it's got this big sort of gooseberry note to it. It's not too dissimilar from Nelson Sauvin actually, and you do get a lot of these notes in this beer. You can smell the kind of sharper, more sort of tart lime if you like, but then you also get the more oily gooseberry type thing underneath, and there's definitely a wee bit of a kind of lemony sharpness to this beer too. But yeah, I like how this goes together, and you know, for a sort of more old school funky type saison, it has everything that you would want from the aroma. So as I always say, take a little bit of time and enjoy the aroma of the beer before you get stuck in. But I think we can we should take a look at this one then. So yeah, this is the Vortex number 1, 7% saison, mixed fermentation, Brettanomyces and Kvike with Motueka and Hallertau Blanc hops. Let's get stuck in. My last beer here at Salama Nation. Slàinte, skål, cheers and keepies. Yeah, that's really pretty nice actually. For a 7%er, it's kind of dangerously drinkable too. The way that it goes together is just really quite nice. But we can say that about all of these Salama beers. The Pilsner was very good. The New England IPA that we had, the new Espoo IPA I should say, the double that we had as well, and now this one. You know, these guys really know what they're doing on the light side of things, and the winter warmer that I had before was very good on the heavier side of things. So yeah, I'm curious to see what these bigger beers that we got are going to be like as well. So yeah, let's keep going with this. Let's break it down and describe it for you. So, middle of the palate then is kind of what you'd expect. You do get that nice kind of smooth American oaky character to this one. That forms the backbone of the beer. If you go further forward on that middle third of your palate, you do get a slight little hint of vanilla out of this one. Then in the middle of the palate you get a little bit of that butterscotchy, butter candy type thing, but as you go further and further back, it's got a little bit of a more kind of dry, it's got a little bit of a more kind of dry and almost very slightly spicy character on the woody side of things, and it's the wood that really comes out the further into the aftertaste you go. On top of all that though, you do have some kind of soft, fresh white bread. There's a bit of bread crust in there, and on the back third of the palate you've got that nice big, you do have that nice big sort of, how would we say, yeah, you get that nice big kind of yeasty, doughy sort of thing out of this one. But yeah, I would say that the sort of yeasty side of this beer takes a bit of a back seat to the woody component, and that it doesn't do it any detriment. That it's just a slightly interesting approach, because normally you would expect a saison just to be a little bit kind of fuller than this, if that makes sense. The mouthfeel on this one is very light, but we'll come back to that a bit later on. Other than that, I don't think there's anything really to say about the malty and sort of wood side of this beer. Let's look at the hoppy and fruity side of things then. So, yeah, the hoppy side of things, nice little bit of earthy character in there for sure, but it's not too, it's actually quite smooth. As you come further forward, it gets a little bit herbal, and as you go toward the front corners of the palate, it's got a nice little bit of it does have a nice little bit of a kind of floral note to it as well, but again it's quite smooth. It's almost quite noble-like. Round the front curve of the palate it's a little bit lighter and more grassy. The grassiness has a wee bit of zestiness, and overall I would say the green component is quite wet and very slightly oily. So yeah, I think that's kind of normal for a saison as well, though you can get hoppier saisons than this one. Front third of your palate then, on the fruity side of things, again underneath you've got this lovely smooth woody character there. That forms the backbone of the fruit, and if you know these two hops that are in this one, this gives you pretty much what you would expect. You can feel that the Hallertau Blanc is kind of forming the backbone of the fruity side of the beer. You get that big smooth kind of gooseberry type thing, and it is distinctly gooseberry rather than white grape as you would get from the New Zealand Nelson Sauvin. So that's there, but when you take the beer in, you'll notice the Motueka a little bit more. You do get that slightly stronger limey flavour, and the lime is a bit further forward towards the very tip of the tongue. So yeah, you get more of the Motueka when you first take the beer in, but the beer starts to lean more toward the Hallertau Blanc and the kind of gooseberry notes a little bit later on. But yeah, I think this one, I actually really like this. It does remind me a wee bit of some of the beers I've had from Epoko Brewing back home in Scotland. I've not had too many saisons like this. I guess it's a style that it just hasn't featured on the channel that much, not through any intention or whatever. But yeah, it goes together really nicely for sure. In terms of mouthfeel then, like I said, this one really has quite a light and very clean mouthfeel. I would say that it's bottom end of mid-bodied, top end of light-bodied. Carbonation, yeah, carbonation-wise, it does have a little touch of crispness to it, but overall, the mouthfeel of this beer is quite wet, quite clean. There's a little bit of oiliness to it, and it's very, very smooth. I mean, you've got that nice kind of slightly woody dryness to it. It's got a little bit of, it does have a little touch of bitterness. I think at most though it will be about 10 IBUs, something like this, maybe 15 at a push. It has that kind of, it's just very, very light in that sense, and like I said, I do suspect this will be dry hopped. So you're not going to get the bitterness out of the hops in this. It will just be adding a little bit of depth to the beer, but yeah, the malty woody side of things is very, very smooth. There's a little tiny touch of sweetness in there. The hoppy side, as we say, about 10 IBUs, and the fruity side is quite nice and wet and clean. So yeah, I think that's a good place to leave it with this one. So yeah, this was the Vortex number 1, sort of wooden barrel aged or fodder aged, I'm not sure exactly what to say, mixed fermentation, Brettanomyces, Kveik, with a little bit of Hallertau Blanc and Motueka in it. A really, really nice saison this one, very, very easy to drink. So yeah, I think we should leave it at that for this. A very light, clean saison, I think we should say. But yeah, that is the end of our tastings here. I'll give you my final thoughts on Salama Nation Pub in just a second. Catch you soon. I have to say, I really do like the Salama coasters. These are really, really cool. So yeah, this one, the other side of it is the liquid Rorschach Imperial Stout, and you'll see that reviewed on the channel a little bit later. But yeah, Salama, as they say in Finnish, lightning. So lightning brewery. Alright guys, well that is our time up then here at Salama Nation Bar. It was really nice to come and check this place out as well, in addition to the brewery. So this has been a little bit of a different video of sorts to the other out and abouts that we've done. But yeah, it was really cool to meet Christian and Johanna at the brewery, and a big thank you to them once again for the free beers that they gave me. But also cool to come and check out the tap room in the city. They had a nice selection of stuff here, but as you saw from the tap list, there were quite a few things from track, and obviously I'm a bit more interested in trying the Finnish beer when I'm over here. But yeah, price wise, for the beers in the tap room, I think we paid like €5 or €6 for 250 millilitres, which is fairly standard for Finnish prices. So you're talking, you know, about $5-6 depending on the beer. That's going to be in the region of like, yeah, about £4 to £5 sterling, something like that. And yeah, for Swedish krona, you just times it by 10, of course. But yeah, really cool to come and visit Salama Nation here in Helsinki. And once again, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this this little out and about video. Really cool to be filming some of these for you here in Finland, of course. But yeah, check out my social media, check out Salama's social media, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Ciao just now.